What's up, everybody? What's up, Chop?
Are we live?
We're live.
I was waiting for the music to die down. I thought it was, man, that's a really long intro music. What's going on, everybody? Oh man, where am I? Oh my God, I got two screens up. I was trying to pull up the chat. I got the reverb in my ear. Got all kinds of good things going on. I didn't drop my mic check in the chat. Got it now though. Guys, Thursday night. This is what happens the day after Christmas, man.
We're all still sleepy a little bit.
Yeah, I said earlier, it's the Christmas hangover, man. It's it's coming, it's past, and here we are. But we got a good game for you tonight. That's what we're going to break down. We got about, I don't know, roughly 30 minutes in us here to go through some players, some sims, some player props, all kinds of stuff that we can do here. So we're going to do it all today. Joined by TJ Zwarych out there in Canada, I assume, unless he's moved for the holidays or something. TJ, how you doing, man?
Doing very well. You know, this is one of the first holiday seasons in a while I didn't spend it with my parents because they moved for the holidays. For the winter, they're traveling all around Australia and New Zealand, so they're doing some crazy stuff. And by crazy stuff, I mean a lot of golf. But here it was nice Christmas for us. It was only like 30 to 40 degrees the last few days, which is for this time of year beautiful. And so it was nice. It was not very relaxing. I'd love to say it was relaxing, but not so much. And ready to dive into this football game tonight. I've been on a nice little showdown streak and looking forward to keep it going tonight.
Now, did you get everything you wanted from Santa for Christmas?
I did. You know, it's less exciting than it used to be, but we got some new socks, we got some new underwear, and the one thing that I'm still waiting on, which isn't here yet but is coming, I don't know if you can hear this, but this chair's pretty creaky. It's a pretty creaky chair, and so I got a brand new, nice, comfortable lumbar support gaming chair that's on its way, but not quite here yet.
Oh, that's going to be nice when that happens. And guys, if you're out there in chat and you're watching, we appreciate it. Hope you guys got everything you wanted for Christmas. What I really want for Christmas is to bust one of these Showdown slates wide open. But this is a chat-driven show, so I'm in the YouTube chat. I'm keeping an eye on that. I'm sure TJ's got his eye in the Discord. But if you got questions, fire them off, because that's what we're really here to do. Let's talk to you about your questions on the lineups tonight. We have I think it's going to be a pretty good game. I think it's Seattle-Chicago is what we got going on tonight in Chicago. I'm looking forward to it. Seattle's a playoff contender. They need to start winning games. They need it now. I like the way their offense looks. I'm excited every time I see them. In Chicago, I think watching the rookie Caleb Williams play, and I'm excited to see that. He's got some good receivers. I want to see how that plays. And he's getting a little bit better as the year goes on. So, hey, you know, this is a football, man. We're on it now. We had some games yesterday. We got a game tonight. We'll have some more on Saturday and Sunday. It's fun stuff. So just generally looking down at this game right here, TJ, with a 5-point spread, roughly 41 and a half or so is your total right now. What do you think about the game in general? How do you think this thing is? Do you think it's slow? The spread's telling us low scoring here. The total is. What do you think? How do you think it plays out?
This is a fun one because I think it has a lot more ranges of outcomes than we're typically used to seeing for one of these primetime games. Like this could be I saw you wrote this up in the expert survey that your preferred game script's not necessarily what you think's going to happen, but it could be anything tonight. Like we could see a passing shootout. We could see a big game for Zach Charbonnet on the ground. We could see the Seahawks easily blow out Chicago. We could see Chicago keeping this one close. We've seen Caleb Williams, when he starts flinging the ball in the second half when they're down, be able to keep games tight. And so I feel like this really does have a wide range of outcomes from 14-10 to 44-30. And I really don't know which way it's going to go in terms of how high scoring. But I do think the Seahawks, playing better lately, are going to be able to come out on top.
Yeah, they need it, man. They need it. They're on the cusp, hanging on for a playoff spot, and I think they got some talent here. I'd be happy see him make it. So it's going to be a good game in that regard. Just taking a look at the chat. Let's see here. Yeah, Chris got his NBA lineups ready to go. Now he can focus on this. I agree. That came down to the wire on the NBA, and now we get to look at this game right here. Yes, please. Martin he's hit it on the head. Smash that like button, guys. Come on, if you're in the chat and you watch, just hit the like button. It takes like 1 second. Really helps us out. Let's talk about some players real quick before we get into sims and simming it up and just get a general overview here. You have 2 quarterbacks, Gino and Caleb. How do you feel about your quarterbacks tonight?
So they're not priority 1 for me. I do like the quarterbacks, but they're not going to be the main targets for me on the slate. I'm looking to get to a lot of pass catchers, and in particular, Zach Charbonnet is going to be the guy that I'm stupidly overweight on today. But I feel like Caleb Williams and Geno Smith are both fine in this spot if I'm picking one. I actually like Caleb Williams better because of the rushing upside he's been showing lately. Plus, I think they're going to be coming from behind, causing him to throw the ball a lot. So Caleb is my preference over Geno. I don't think either of them are super necessary tonight, and I certainly don't think it's necessarily to get both.
Yeah, tend to agree with all that. But now the next thing would be the running back position. And you said earlier you could see a thing, and just like I kind of thought earlier, I could see it playing out a lot of different ways. It could be a running game, man. It could certainly be a DeAndre Swift Charbonnet game. We got Kenneth Walker is out of here tonight, and Swift has that big game ability. So yeah, it could go any way as far as that's concerned. It could be a run heavy approach. The thing I want to ask you about the running backs, Charbonnet is going to be popular. It's a showdown, so Swift is going to have plenty of ownership too. I want to ask you about the backup running backs. You have any interest? Because that's kind of sometimes where you can get a little different in showdowns. Boy, it's uncomfortable as heck, and you wouldn't do it on a main slate. But we're down a running back for Seattle. Kenny McIntosh is out there cheap. Chicago has, as good as Swift is, sometimes he'll lose some goal line carries to his running backfield mates. What do you think about the running back backups in this game?
So this is, I don't think where you're going to expect me to have gone, but I'm doing something wacky today. And that's so Kenneth Walker just got placed on the IR. And especially if the Seahawks get to a little bit of a lead, but also if this game stays tight, because he's a really good pass blocker. I am playing some Kenny McIntosh. I'm not getting to any Roschon Johnson. I do think he's viable, though. I'm playing 20 lineups. I didn't land on any Roschon, but I do think he's very viable. The backup running back I have the most of is George Holani, projecting for 0.64 points. Barely nothing. Mostly has played on special teams so far. Only $400. I don't think he's going to play much. This is kind of shout out to our guy Squirrel Patrol, because I feel like this is a Squirrel Patrol play a little bit where he said this a lot at the start of the season. There's a chance this guy plays 0 snaps. Like, he may not get on the field for much offense today. But at $400, there's also a chance he does. Walker just got placed on the IR. There's 3 running backs active, and he is one of them. He's been on the practice squad all year. He's been activated for a couple games, but he's been on practice squad all year. And just before today, they activated him to the 53-man roster for the rest of the season. He signed for the rest of the year. I think they may give this guy a shot to see what he can do a little bit, give him a few reps before they get to the playoffs. It's already too much time spent on him. But in my single entry team and in a few of my 20 entry maxes, I have George Holani in it.
I don't think it's a crazy play. I think that he's more talented than Kenny McIntosh. And the MO on him in college was he couldn't stay healthy. And he had a quarterback that would vulture him all the time. So he really didn't get a lot of reputation in that regard. But I don't mind that at all, man. And if I'm building multiple lineups out tonight, I would absolutely take a shot on that. I actually like that call. I'm going to bookmark it because I don't mind that. Also in the survey, I talked about the receivers in this game. Boy, there's a lot of them. They're all viable. There's a lot of viable. There's so much talent on the field in the receiving core. Talk to me about Metcalf. Will he have a breakout game, or will we go broke waiting and chasing that breakout game, and it just doesn't come until we're already bankrupt?
I don't know if we're getting it. I do think it could absolutely happen because he is still an elite athletic talent, and if he breaks one, he could be gone. But I don't think he's got that same. I do think he maybe has lost a little juice. Now, a little juice lost of DK Metcalf is still an athletic freak. But JSN's the number one receiver there right now. I don't agree with Eric Johnson in chat too often, but I do agree with him on that note. Metcalf is a totally reasonable play, and I would be fine playing him if he wasn't so expensive. Like, I don't think he warrants this $9,200 price he's been receiving, and it's not like his ownership is that low. 30% is pretty low, but not that crazy, considering Keenan Allen is 30%, DJ Moore 36, Smith and Jigba's 37. So we're not getting a price discount, and we're only getting a tiny ownership discount. I would never tell somebody not to play DK Metcalf, but I'm personally not getting very much. I have him one. Ooh, that's scary. Only one lineup.
Yeah.
Feel like I should do more, but I only got one DK Metcalf.
Yeah, it's either going to bury you real quick, or it's a winning type of formula. I think a lot of people might be underestimating the entire coaching change, offensive coordinator and everything. Maybe it's just not suited. This offense just isn't as suited to his skill set as a guy like Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's young and really versatile and can do a lot more things with his game. So, and in his route running, I don't know. It'll play out. We'll see how it plays out, though. But sometimes the breakout is going to come eventually. It's just how much can you chase it before you've lost so much on it that, like, it's not even worth it anymore, man. So I don't know, but we got some guys in chat here hamming it up. Butthole, the fillet and the plums is coming later on. Give us about 10 to 15 more minutes. That's going to pop up. Let's see. At least you will have a ton of salary left, TJ. Yeah. You play Helani, you're going to have a ton of salary.
I only got $400 left in my Helani lineup.
And that's not a bad thing because Helani's already going to set you apart, so you don't really need to be big on salary savings. Which tight end scores a touchdown, Matt D asks?
Probably none of them. I think the most likely one would be Fant, but I think Barner is in play as well. Komet could get there, but none of them are probably going to get more than 3-4 targets max. And so raw points, I'd rank them Komet, Fant, Barner, but I don't overly like any of them. If I look right now, let's see. I have Komet in 2 of 20 lineups, Fant in 1 of 20 lineups, no Barner. So not getting to very much of the tight ends.
All right, so Eric Johnson says, "Happy Boxing Day, TJ." So I'm gonna have to ask you. I've seen the term Boxing Day. What? I don't. For some reason, that's just going over my head. What is Boxing Day?
So over the last 5 to 10 years, Canada has very much adopted Black Friday as well. Black Friday never used to be a thing here because our Thanksgiving's not at the right time of not at the same time as yours. It's a month earlier, 3 weeks earlier. And so we never used to have Black Friday, but ever since online shopping has happened, Black Friday is now a thing here as well because so many people are buying stuff online anyways. But before that, and still, Boxing Day kind of used to be Canada's version of Black Friday. Day after Christmas, everything goes to 50% off kind of thing. And so it's a day of massive sales. It got its name from today everybody's boxing up their Christmas stuff or throwing out all the boxes from the day before, whatever you want to refer to it. But basically our version of Black Friday.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. That's if you want to get the savings on the Christmas lights and the ornaments, now's the time to go shopping for it. That's what I like to do. I send my wife out to do that a couple days after Christmas, get the good deals on it. What if it's a Tyler Lockett game? Asking in chat. What if it's a Tyler Lockett game? What do you think?
I have him in 2 of 20, but Lockett's pretty washed. I don't think a Tyler Lockett game is. I don't know if it's in the cards.
Mardon says, "Fant at captain, you're not in love with the tight end play tonight, right?"
No, I'm not. I think Fant at captain is a little too thin.
Jim asks, if you're playing 3 max, what players would you have? What players would you have the most of in your lineups? 3 max. Like so, again, I'm assuming smallerish fields type of stuff. So it's not Halani kind of stuff, but
Yeah, Charbonnet 1, priority 1 by far. I'd be likely playing him at captain, and then JSN and Keenan Allen are the next 2 for me.
interesting. Cole Kmet, no, not a lot of tight end love for these guys. Lip. How you feel about Lockett? We just covered that one. TJ says he's washed, so we're ready for the big breakout game tonight. My single entry has 1,600 left on the table, pending any last minute plums. You say you have 400 on the Halani, but how other than that, on another lineup where you don't have a $400 salary saver, how you feeling about salary left? $2,000, $1,000, 1,600. How you feeling?
Never have any problem with that. Like, I don't even mind building lineups where. Here, hold on. I'm gonna screen share for a second so I can show on here what I'm talking about as well in lineup HQ. But I don't mind building a lineup where you go Zach Charbonnet captain. It's going to be a low scoring game that the Seahawks dominate. Like, as long as it fits, as long as you can tell a story in your head, I don't care how much salary you leave on the table. I'm good with thousands, because if I'm playing a scenario where I think Seahawks win easily in a low scoring game, so I'm playing Zach Charbonnet, the Seahawks defense, Jason Myers, their kicker. I'll throw Gino in there because they're going to win. Maybe JSN because we're doing an onslaught, and then Cairo Santos because they score 6 points, and that's all the Bears score today. Or Cole Kmet because he scores their only touchdown, or even Adunze at even 1,800. All of that is totally fine to me. Say you want to do something crazy, you don't even want to play Smith and Jigma because you think they're barely going to throw the ball, so you do both running backs and you play one of the expensive Bears pass catchers. I think this is a totally viable lineup that leaves $6,600 on the table. With Moore, with Allen, with Williams, any of them, because you're playing a specific script. The defense goes off. Kicker gets a few field goals. Charbonnet goes for 150 and 2 touchdowns, and the Bears just can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Just for an example, there's a 3-game college football slate that started this afternoon. 3 games college football. I just built some lineups, based on trying to be a little different and trying to game stack a little bit in some of that. And yeah, I looked at some of them and I'm like, $2,800 left over. That's a 3-game college, that's a lot. So yeah, you can leave whatever you want on the table on a showdown or a small slate. Just like he said, as long as it tells a story, man, as long as it's not just, you're not just, I get you play Halani, that's fine, but don't play Halani with another $200 guy and another 200, and leave yourself.
Don't do it just for the sake of doing it. But when there's a reason, absolutely.
Yeah, so we got that going for us. Flying Armbar just got back from Thailand, buddy. You better be careful in Thailand with those lady boys, okay? Watch out, Flying Arm. Hope you didn't caught in that trap. Merry Christmas to you too, though. Question is Keenan at captain too chalky? I think like the best of the Bears wide receivers. I don't know what that last statement means, but Keenan at captain, he seems to be the focal point of the passing game with the new offensive coordinator. What do you think about Keenan today at captain?
Yeah, he does seem to be Caleb Williams' favorite, and so I don't mind that one bit. If we pull up if we pull up SimLabs here and we look at the optimal percentage tool, he's actually showing the highest positive leverage right now. Keenan Allen is among any players. So there's 3 Bears players: Keenan Allen, Caleb Williams, and Adunze, as the 3 players with the most positive leverage at the captain position today. Just shy of an 8% optimal rate. I think maybe it's a little higher than that. I think he should be above DJ Moore, because I agree. Allen is the number 1 receiver to me, Moore to Adunze 3. And so, yeah, I have no issue with Keenan Allen at captain tonight.
FanDuel questions rolling in. We need to talk FanDuel for a minute. Who's your favorite MVP options on that site tonight, TJ, with the difference in pricing and scoring and multipliers and all that other stuff? MVPs on FanDuel. Who's some of your favorites?
So to me, I like this even more because he's coming in lower owned on FanDuel, and that's Zach Charbonnet. I think he's the clear top MVP today. I think Seattle is going to be the beautiful part about playing Zach Charbonnet at MVP or captain is he can't get scripted out of the game. If he gets hurt, that sucks. You're done. But he can't get scripted out of the game. If they're losing, he's going to catch passes. If they're winning, he's probably going to have 20 carries. So Charbonnet is my favorite by far. Caleb Williams would probably come in number 2. Again, I like the game script that Chicago has to come from behind. And so him throwing the ball, we've seen it so many times this year where he puts up 4 points in the first half and finishes with 28 because they just throw the ball an absolute ton in the second half. Plus, he's been running more lately. I think basically anybody other than Geno Smith is the route that I would want to go on FanDuel, with him being the one not only picking up the most negative leverage, but just the highest ownership in general. So Caleb Williams, JSN, Zach Charbonnet, Metcalf and Swift, sure, they're fine, but I'd rather go way off the board with Moore, Allen, if I'm not going Williams, JSN, or Charbonnet. So I'd go Charbonnet 1, Caleb Williams 2, JSN 3, Keenan Allen 4, DJ Moore 5.
Yeah, it's Caleb Williams for me, number 1 here. And just you got him at 2, I'd have him at 1. He has this rushing upside too that we just haven't seen, that I don't know why he doesn't run more. He's got it in him, but he prefers to, dance around a lot and then take sacks or things like it's weird stuff. But he has the running upside. If he just cashes in on it, man, he's going to be a smash play on FanDuel. But any weather concerns? I didn't see anything. What Roth wrote up was very negligible. I don't think it's going to matter anything more, Don. What about both quarterbacks in the same lineup tonight, TJ?
Yeah, it's fine, but I also think that's going to be probably among the most common builds, and I don't really feel like I need to do it. So Geno Smith, to me, is looking like probably the best fade on the slate because he's getting a lot of ownership. If I'm playing Geno, I probably want to pair him with the DK Metcalf because that's a way to get a little bit different. Metcalf lower owned, and so I'd rather put one of his receivers at MVP or captain and put him in the flex. But just in general, Geno's one of the guys that I'm most likely to get off of. Whereas Caleb Williams, I like a little bit more because I do think he's got the rushing upside.
Fair enough. Let's see where we're at here. We have Andrew A. says he's going to the Bears game to see them in person, get the W. Andrew, be careful out there. Sounds fun, though. It does sound fun. I assume it's not too cold out there, but CD shut down for the season. Yep, Chris, CD, that's actually one of the first smart things the Cowboys did this year. Just shut them down. Try to lose these 2 games, get the best draft pick you can. And please do not bring back Mike McCarthy as a Cowboys fan. Don't do it. A couple of questions about Barner at tight end. You kind of mentioned some tight ends, but just as a flex play, what do you think about Barner?
I'm not getting there. I think I prefer Fant, Lockett, McIntosh, all in the same price range, but especially if you're playing a lot of lineups, I don't think it's a problem.
Bud Host wants to ask you specifically, you don't think that the Bears are going to chuck that pigskin tonight? Is crazy talk. Caleb throwing the ball 40-plus times tonight. That's from Butho.
Butho is confused. Butho and I are on the same page. I do think Caleb's going to be throwing the ball a ton tonight.
Butho, too much Christmas turkey, man. You weren't listening right, man. When is the Simpsons article going live?
J3 keeps asking me that. I don't think I'm actually going to write it. Like I did a roundtable with the Simpsons creators and some of the voice cast when I was at New York Comic Con. And I sat in and they told some fun stories, but I don't think I'm actually going to write an article about it. But I guess J3 is a big Simpsons fan, so he's waiting. So I can maybe look through my voice memos and take a peek at it, but I'm not sure if I'll actually write it. I got too much going on.
So I waited. I waited for like as long as I could. I waited till like the Friday before Christmas. Like I waited that long to see the red one with the Rock, and I was entertained, man. I didn't mind it at all. But have you saw it?
Really?
Yeah, it's a Christmas movie, and I think it's got some legs to it. So, but what's the next big Marvel thing coming out, man? What am I looking forward to next?
So it was a quiet year, and 2025 is absolutely nuts. Coming out next one is in February, Captain America, Brave New World. So next Captain America movie. Then we got After that is a one called Thunderbolts, where they're bringing back a whole bunch of bad guys from previous movies, teaming them up. And it's not going to be the same in terms of story, but concept similarly to Suicide Squad.
Okay.
But it's like Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes is leading the team, and they got a bunch of people that we know well. And then finally, it's Fantastic Four. It's the first Fantastic Four movie in the MCU, and that's happening at the end of the year. So big Marvel year.
Man. Yeah, waiting for it. Let's go. I'm ready for it. Eric says DJ Moore over 5.5 receptions, ? That leads us. Let's get into some player props. We can answer that one, and we can give them some of our favorites after that too. So let's talk about some player props. Again, guys, if you're not familiar with Splash Sports, that's kind of where I'm drawing my lines from tonight. I like to take a shot on Splash Sports. They got some good lines. If you haven't signed up for Splash Sports, now is the time. Promo code ROTO10. Okay, when you use ROTO10 as your promo code and you sign up, you play $100 in quick picks, you get a free 50. That's free money. Okay, just use the code ROTO10. Get in there. It's a good site. They got some good lines, good props. So let's answer that first one. DJ Moore over 5.5 receptions. Would that be something that you're interested in tonight?
No, I don't think so. There are a couple guys in this game I do like going to for some props, but DJ Moore's receptions, I don't think going to be where I'm going to. He's a big play guy. Yes, they have been throwing more screen passes to him lately, but not one I think I'm going to be looking to go to tonight.
Well, then what would be – give me one or two that I can put in on Splash Sports that you feel good about tonight.
Oh, my bad. I thought I was screen sharing. I didn't realize I hadn't had it up yet. So one that I like quite a bit, if we can have it here, but it doesn't actually look like we do, and that was DeAndre Swift, more than 2.5 receptions. However, 12.5 receiving yards, I still think looks pretty darn good here on Splash Sports. He's quite involved in the passing game. We think they're going to be coming from behind. DeAndre Swift, I like quite a bit. And then Marie John Easy, our guy, also just asked, any interest in the kickers tonight? I do have interest in Jason Myers, a little bit less in Cairo Santos. And so I do think either 6.5 kicking points or 1.5 field goals for Cairo Santos. I like both of those today. What do you think?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think so. I don't mind. That's always an undervalued piece of the game is the field goal kickers. I don't mind that at all. I like that one. Also, just, parsing through here, Caleb Williams, this is not a great Seattle defense, but they do have something to them. When they're healthy, they're pretty decent. Well, what would you say to Caleb Williams over that half interception?
I don't know. He started the year looking like he was going to be a guy that throws a decent amount of picks, but he's really limited that. So I think he seems more likely to get sacked lately than actually throw interceptions. So I'm not sure how much I want to go to the interceptions one, but one I do like with Caleb is something related to his rushing yards. So it's 26.5 rushing yards on Splash. It's only 24.5 on Underdog. So I think I like it there, maybe a bit better, but 32.5 pass attempts or 216 passing yards. I don't mind either of those for Caleb.
Okay. See, we got a Caleb prop, a Swift prop, and so we'd have to balance this out with a Seattle prop. I'm going to throw one out there. I want your opinion on it because this is just some things just jump off to me and they don't seem right. Noah Fant on Splash Sports over more or less 30.5 seems high for Noah Fant. Like he's not a top option, and that just seems high. What would you say to that under?
Off the top of my head, I agree with you completely. Fant is not, like we talked about him in DFS, not somebody I'm really looking to target in this spot. I do want to double check quick, just see what we got in terms of projections for his receiving yards today. But why are our projections page disappearing as I'm trying to look for it right now? Off the top of my head, I certainly don't mind it.
Yeah, it just seems a little high. I don't know why, but Let's see. So that's a pretty good parlay. Throw that in on Splash Sports, guys. Get you some action there. Let's see. I'm taking Tyler Lockett over 1.5 receptions. I don't hate it. That's not bad. Roshan touchdown tonight. Always a threat, but always a threat to get that vulture touchdown. Any interest in the kickers? Yeah, we covered that one. Does Allen's matchup against Witherspoon worry you at all? No. Blessed, I have no zero. I mean, Keenan Allen, right off the top of my head, I want to say he moves around enough to where we're not worried about matchups in that regard. And I don't think I'd worry about that anyway. He's a veteran, and Witherspoon's very, very young still. Even though he's good and going to be really good, I wouldn't worry about it too much. And he's a lot better, like, in the run defense game too. He's a really good hitter, and I don't know if he's as great of a cover guy, but I wouldn't worry about that. It's time to get to the Plums play of the night, man. We got about 28 minutes till kickoff. We're a couple minutes over here, but TJ, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Who is your fill it in the Plums play of the night?
I'd love to go a little less chalky, but it's Zach Charbonnet for me today. I think he's going to have a really, really big day. Zach Charbonnet is my captain in 15 of my 20 lineups tonight. My field and Plums play is Charbonnet.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong there. I think that's a really solid pick. He's going to deliver. So I'll just go a little bit more off the beaten path. We're seeing certain guys like Jackson Smith and Jigba is awesome. I think he has a good game because he's been having good games. He's really solid. And Keenan Allen, I mentioned him as being the focal point of the new offensive coordinator that got handed the keys to this thing several weeks ago. He seems to have a thing for Keenan Allen and getting him open and scheming him up. So those guys are all good. I'm just going to go a little bit off the beaten path. Large field GPP kind of play. But for some reason, I'm feeling like Rome Odunze is getting a little bit more involved every week, a little bit more. I think maybe this could be a breakout game for him. I'm hoping Rome has a big breakout game tonight. So I'm going Rome Odunze as the fill it in the Plums play of the night. And guys, you got 26 minutes to adjust your lineups before this thing kicks off. We appreciate you tuning in. TJ, you got anything before we jump out of here?
That is it, my friend. Happy holidays, everyone. Hope you had a good few days, and we're back at it tomorrow. We got a ton of content coming tomorrow because Christmas and messed up the schedule a little bit this week, and so Pick 6 show is usually Wednesday night, but tomorrow it's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So early Pick 6 show tomorrow. We got the Tournament Take show tomorrow night. Blitz is coming tomorrow, in addition to the regular NBA content. So lots of great NFL content coming tomorrow, so make sure you tune in.
Yeah, he said it, man. He hit it on the head. A lot of great stuff coming up tomorrow. Like, I don't know if you guys have the college football package or what have you, but it's rolling now, man. We got 4 games tomorrow, games the next day. It's going on for about a week and a half straight. Saturday, 3 NFL games. Unbelievable. They gave us a nice triple header. I love it. Sunday, the full main slate. Lots of good stuff going on, guys. Again, appreciate you tuning in with all those questions. Hit the like button on your way out the door. For TJ, I was your host, Chop. Good luck in those GPPs. But for now, we're out of here.